Okay, hello Cloud Gurus, Scott Pletcher back with some more AWS news goodness. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, summer is winding down and lots of people are sneaking away for some well-deserved downtime, including yours truly, who just returned from a little trip to DEF CON in Las Vegas. Special shout out to the Cloud Village for hosting some excellent talks and a really fun and challenging cloud-based Capture the Flag event. I can always count on DEF CON to push my paranoia levels to new heights. And as we go to press, the AWS news this week has been pretty light. In and among all the typical Service X now offered in Region Y announcements and feature announcements which really should have been part of the initial product release, I pulled together a few things that might be of interest. A few weeks back, I mentioned that SageMaker now has optimized containers for the popular natural language processing framework, Hugging Face. This week, AWS made it one-click simple to deploy over 40 pre-trained Hugging Face models using SageMaker JumpStart. If you're new to machine learning, a pre-trained model is one that's ready to go as far as doing machine learning stuff. In the case of Hugging Face, it could be text summarization or translation. JumpStart is a great way to explore some use cases and maybe get some inspiration on how to put machine learning to work in your organization. CloudFormation sometimes takes a lot of flack for lagging behind in support of newly released services, but let's be honest, there's lots of stuff going on behind the scenes to enable all that infrastructure as code magic. Recently, the CloudFormation team announced the delivery of another 79 new resource types, bringing the total resource count to 775 across 160 AWS services. Services like App Runner, Fraud Detector, and Route 53 Resolver are among the new resource types, as are third parties like Datadog, Gremlin, and FireEye. If you're still not seeing the resource you want, the CloudFormation product team actively seeks input on what they should work on next, over on their CloudFormation coverage roadmap on GitHub. If you've been following this series for a while, you know that I'm a big fan of Amazon Workspaces. With remote work now being seen as a perfectly legitimate option for many companies, IT still has to provide system security and application management. And I think this is where Workspaces really shines, allowing us to create nice walled gardens to keep our employees safe and productive. In an effort to increase that security even more, Windows Workspaces now supports YubiKey remotely, letting users authenticate into applications and websites with their own individual U2F security keys. As someone who uses their YubiKey anywhere I possibly can, the more YubiKey, the better. Additionally, the Workspaces web client now supports Workspaces streaming protocol, which according to AWS offers better performance and less lag than the legacy PC over IP protocol. And you can now actually view and request workspace quota increases right through the service quota console, rather than having to manually open a support ticket. Okay, that last thing kind of falls into the bucket of should have been part of the initial release, but at least we have it now. And that, my friends, is all the AWS news that I could scrounge up this week. Oh, and happy birthday to EC2, 15 years young and still spry as ever. Stay safe, take care of one another, and keep being awesome, Cloud Gurus.